What if I told you closing $1 million life insurance policy, target premium that is, doesn't require a 60-page slide deck or a PhD in finance, and it can come down to just 5 lines, 5 simple but powerful sentences that elite producers use every single day with high net worth clients? Today, I'm going to share them with you. And here's why words matter. High net worth clients aren't buying policies, they're buying clarity, confidence, leadership. They're buying solutions. And words carry authority. The wrong line makes you sound like a salesperson, but the right line positions you as a trusted authority and a strategist. And so the 5 lines that we have to think about, I'm going to break them down. Here's line 1, and it's about authority and framing. Write that down, authority and framing. Here's what it is. If something happened tomorrow, who writes the check for your estate tax bill? Why this works is it forces the client to visualize a problem they can't ignore. Average agents talk about features. Elite advisors frame risks. That was the first one. Here's the second one. It's about liquidity and awareness. Would you prefer your heirs to inherit your assets or your tax bill? And why this one works is it shifts the focus to consequence of not taking action or not acting. Line 3, here's what it is. Write it down. It's about business continuity. If you're gone, how would your family or partners keep your payroll running? And why this works is it anchors the client to real-world urgent risks. And in fact, I used this very line yesterday in a conversation with the client who business is worth $25 million. And we were talking about his business partners. His wife would inherit the business. And I used this exact line. And he's like, oh man, that's something we really need to talk about. Line 4, here's what it is about strategic positioning. My role is to simplify what feels complex so you don't have to. And why this line works is it lowers the resistance, repositions you as a guide versus a salesperson. In line 5, this is about closing the gap. And here's what it is. Whatever the number is, just stay with me. We've identified a $12 million gap. Do you want your heirs solving that under stress and anxiety and grief? Or do you want to solve it now while you can? Why it works is it closes by elevating stakes and giving only 2 choices: lead or leave chaos for your loved ones. So why these work? They shift the client's brain from product evaluation to risk mitigation, which is where all your high net worth clients, your business owners sit. And they position you as a strategist, not a vendor of product. They eliminate and elevate the stakes emotionally and financially. They create urgency without being pushy. And when you put this into practice, don't try to memorize these scripts and just anchor each line to a real client problem: taxes, liquidity, business continuity. You don't have to be verbatim and perfect at reiterating the questions. You have to understand the underlying problem that you're trying to solve and understand that the solutions you're learning how to provide through joint work will help you solve all those problems. But here's the other thing. You need to practice in front of a mirror until they sound natural. And then use them in your next COI conversation, your next client meeting. Give them a try and see how they work. So those are 5 lines. That's it. That's the difference between a $5,000 case and a $500,000 case. Often comes down to the questions you ask and the words that you use. If you want to master not just these lines, but the entire framework for consistently closing 6 and 7-figure cases, that's what we cover inside the JMac method, the Elite Case Closer Academy. Click the link in the description and start learning how to close the kinds of cases that can change your career forever.